There it brews and boils within, a cauldron fit for a demon king, crowned by indulgence, a concoction so foul only your empty desires could ever allow. Fast through your traumas and sweet appetite delight, ride the dead of night with all your might. You might just reach the kingdom inside, for on this journey you cannot hide from the serpent that slithers and withers your sanity. There doth it gives birth to the sin of humanity. And so the fool thinks themselves wise, that they hold all that is true. But little did they know, the joker in the pack was Beelzebub's stew. Who is Beelzebub? In biblical scripture, Beelzebub is known as the prince of demons. In the Essene scriptures, Beelzebub is known as the same force. However, it goes deeper to emphasize how it is connected to the filthy condition of the average human being's colon. Beelzebub can be seen as the combined force of all the excess waste and parasites that dwell inside us from a life of sinful consumption, dwelling inside us unchallenged because very little is spoken about this in the mainstream. The name Beelzebub was initially used by the Philistines of the Old Testament to describe the god of Ekron. It literally meant the Lord of the Flies. Originally, it was spelt Beelzebub. As time progressed, the Jews altered Beelzebub to Beelzebub, which added an even dimmer idea to this particular name of the devil. The new name Beelzebub now meant the Lord of the Dunghill, or the Lord of the Manure. Two powerful and important connections to Satan are presented in these two names, Beelzebub and Beelzebub. First of all, he is presented as Beelzebub, the Lord of the Flies. This is clearly the picture of Satan masquerading himself as the Lord of the demon spirits. And secondly, he is presented as Beelzebub, the Lord of the Dunghill. By adding this twist to this name of Satan, the Jews told us something very important about the devil. Both he and his evil spirits, like nasty, dirty flies, are attracted to dunghills, or environments where rotting, stinking carnality pervades. This is the environment where Satan thrives best. And in the Bible it also says, the carnal mind is the enmity against God. Here is a tremendously powerful passage taken from the Gospel of Peace, one of the Essene scriptures that has been blocked from the mainstream Christian understanding. Renew yourselves and fast, for I tell you truly that Satan and his plagues may only be cast out by fasting and by prayer. Go by yourself and fast alone, and show your fasting to no man. The living God shall see it, and great shall be your reward. And fast until all the evils depart from you, and all the angels of our earthly mother come and serve you. For I tell you truly, except you fast, you shall never be freed from the power of Satan, and from all the diseases that come from Satan. Fast and pray fervently, seeking the power of the living God for your healing. And while you fast, eschew the sons of men, and seek our earthly mother's angels, for those that seek shall find. What if the origins of evil, the fall of mankind, can be traced back to our relationship with food?
What if, on some level, the criminal is contained within our very bodies, making it the crime in all? What if we are not top of the food chain, but what we call food has us in chains? Here is a speech taken from Lucifer himself, from the Holy Megillah, the sacred Nazarene book of Genesis and Essene scriptures that have been blocked from the mainstream Christian understanding. This is taken from the Nazarene book of Genesis, page 698. Lucifer said to his soldiers, "Behold, I will plant my own seeds beside their garden, near their tree. I will plant my tree, and I will appear to Adam and Eve, and tell them I am their God. And I will command them to obey my angels and me. Lo, I will forbid them to eat of the fruit of the tree of life. And I will command that they eat only from the tree that I plant. And the tree of evil, disguised as good, was not only evil, rather it was a cunning mixture of good and evil, of truth mingled with falsehood. For Lucifer knew that young souls he wished to ensnare would not knowingly choose the dark path. Yea, darkness must be mixed with enough light to make it palatable. Neither would these young souls knowingly worship Lucifer and Satan, rather than Elohim and Yah, the true names of God. Therefore, Lucifer would pretend that he was God. He would call himself Yahweh and tell them that he was their creator. He would establish the priesthood of the serpent on this world, with the satanic priesthood of the dark path. Lucifer communed with his master Satan, and behold, the voice of the serpent spoke within Lucifer, saying, "Let my priests mix good with evil, for it is in robes of good that I shall dress my seeds. And only one thing is truly needful to enslave mankind. He must be made to eat the flesh of animals, for then we can enter his body and enjoy his senses. Yea, and we can whisper in his head, and he will believe that our words are his own thoughts. No matter if his scriptures declare, love one another, as long as he eats flesh, he will be unable to follow those words." The Hebrew word Hallel has come into English via Latin as Lucifer. Both Hallel and Lucifer mean the Shining One. Nazarene tradition informs us that Lucifer was formerly a high-ranking cherub who embraced the dark side and became a servant of Satan. The Hebrew word Satan means opponent or adversary, and refers to the chief opponent of Yah and Elohim. The ultimate Satan is non-being, the antithesis of Yah. In that sense, Satan is not merely a personality, but a way, that is the antithesis of the way of Yahweh. The way of Satan is that which causes consciousness to contract rather than expand. Many personalities serve the dark side, the way of Satan, and one of them is the fallen cherub Lucifer. But Nazarene tradition makes clear that there has emerged one particular demonic entity, the Dark Lord, who recruited Lucifer, that is so evil that he is referred to as Satan. Thus, ultimately Satan is a way, but there is also a demonic entity that has emerged as the number one opponent of Yahweh, and this is called Satan. His goal is to enslave beings and to sustain himself by feeding off their life force. His favorite food is the emotional pain of other beings. He works to create circumstances that lead to the emotional pain of many worlds, and that is his way of farming. Thus he is the king of parasites and the lord of the pain farmers. The number one resource that is ultimately being farmed is pain and disease. Disease is big business for the world's major corporations, and keeping the world's populations enslaved and in poor health ensures their profits are sustained and energy is being harvested for the satanic matrix system of control. When people are kept at a certain level of health and intelligence, they will not be so wise enough to question the plans and actions of the world's major corporations. Instead, they will work for them out of a programmed necessity for survival. This is also a symptom of Stockholm Syndrome, which is where the enslaved form a sadistic love for their captor, because they have come to know this as reality, and they are dependent on their captor for their survival needs. Behind most of the world's major sufferings are corporations looking to capitalize and reinforce their satanic agendas. Our own rejection of our health on all levels has allowed for a heartless machine to spread its tyrannical desires across Mother Earth. There really are no accidents in this world when one peels away the onion and reveals the truth of what is taking place. In the Holy Megillah, it outlines the deeper layer as to why there is so much suffering taking place. To see beyond what is happening at face value, we need to look into the spirit world and go beyond just the physical. There are other disembodied entities or beings that are feeding off of the manufactured traumas and suffering happening here on Earth. These disembodied entities are known as the pain farmers, and essentially they have attempted to turn this world into one giant pain farming business. This explains the need for abattoirs, animal death factories, and disease on the scale we are witnessing, for these beings are harvesting the pain and using this energy for their own self-sustenance. They need to trap us in negative karmic patterns as to be able to access our energy. For if we stopped playing the games we do, as a collective, they would not have the consent to be able to do what they do here. Just as the parasites inside our bodies are attempting to feed on our vital force, there are other forces feeding off of our ignorance and harmful habits. These forces use corrupt corporations to hide behind. Here is another scripture read from the Nazarene Book of Genesis in the Holy Megillah, page 66. Behold, the downward spiral exists as a possibility, but now on this world, as in many other worlds, the downward spiral was an actuality. And lo, at the moment it was made manifest, many thousands of demonic entities of various types flocked to this world, some with bodies, some disembodied. Some of the disembodied were called pain suckers, for they feed on the emotional pain of other beings, and all pain suckers are of the family called parasites. The most dangerous of the suckers are those called the pain farmers, for they plant seeds of discord in order to increase their harvest of pain. Yea, and they teach the art of weapon making and encourage warfare and thousands of other evil things. And they do this by whispering in the minds of not only their willing servants, but even their unsuspecting hosts. For the unsuspecting hosts think the demonic suggestion whispered in his mind is his own idea.